I'm Derek Schuster of GDR and Gopher Dunes, and we're going to do a little tour here around the property, and I just want to show you everything that we have to offer here. We're going to make our first stop at the pro shop here. Come on inside, I'll show you around. This is our pro shop. This is where everybody stops and checks in when they arrive at Gopher Dunes. Try to take care of everything here for all of our guests. Riders, people just coming to hang out, camping, all that type of stuff. We have riding gear, supplies, tires. We do service in the back shop. Not going to take you for a tour out back right now. Super messy back there. The guys are working, but back shop's your typical workshop. Obviously, there's some race bikes back there, that type of thing. Upstairs, we have a gym for the riders. My office is up there as well, kind of hidden out of the way. And take you around the rest of the shop or rest of the property now. This is our Red Rider area. This is where we keep all our bikes, change room, all that type of stuff for people learning how to ride. They can come here, book a 2-hour session. They start out in the grass field riding around cones and advance from there to our beginner track and end up doing a guided trail tour to finish. So this area here is our cabins. This was something new in 2024. We know that a ton of people love camping here, but we wanted to offer an area for people that could just rent a spot for the weekend. So we have these 2 off-grid cabins. This here we call our couples cabin. That's a family cabin over there. It's a little bit bigger. And as you can see, we got some space in between to expand here in the future. This area out here is our beach. I mean, the water's a little bit high right now, so the beach is a little bit smaller. It usually is higher in the springtime, but it becomes a super popular area in the summertime. People are fishing, swimming, all that type of stuff, paddle boarding, and it's definitely become a bit of a mainstay here at the dunes in the summer. And then off to the other side here, this is our Orion bicycle track. This is for kids on small e-bikes or bicycles, and on an event weekend or just even regular recreational weekend, we'll see a ton of kids out there all weekend. Obviously, we've added soccer nets and that type of stuff as well. Beach volleyball on this side. And these things are just nice for families when they're coming out here. Maybe there's a family of 4 coming and only 1 or 2 of the people of the 4 are riding, and we want to make sure that there's something to offer for everybody here. Pee-wee track and our beginner track, this is where kids spend a ton of time. As you can see, there's campers out here, so they're the campers for a lot of kids that are just coming here as regulars riding. This beginner track is where kids graduate to from the grass field on Red Rider. So this here is our most basic and simple track, and a lot of kids really learn how to ride here, and we've had this track here for years, so kids work their way on up from here all the way out to the big track. Obviously, the next step is the Pee-wee track just over here. We will also have races on the Pee-wee track from time to time at some of our races and events. And a big feature at Gopher Dunes is that we have multiple tracks. So if there is a race weekend happening, we still have some tracks that are open for recreational riding at the same time. These garages here are rental garages, and they're used for all of our guests that maybe coming from the city or don't have a vehicle to move their bikes or ATVs, and they can store all their equipment here. We'll service them for them in between their rides. They just let us know, and they have access to pressure washers and all that type of stuff while they're at Gopher Dunes. This is our GP track here. It's kind of to bridge the gap between our Pee-wee track and the main sand track here. And not everybody enjoys riding sand all the time, so we felt that it was good to build something that we can offer a little bit different. The question that everybody always asks, well, how do you have this other soil here? We had it all trucked in, so there was thousands of loads of dirt that we had brought in to be able to offer something different, and we wanted to use that to build this GP track. This is the main track out here. So this is the sand track. This is the track that everybody thinks about when they think of Gopher Dunes or hear about Gopher Dunes. This is the track that they hear is that gnarly sand track, the never-ending deep sand, the Canada's toughest national or one of the toughest tracks in the world. This is it here. And you know, on a weekday like today, it's pretty fun, it's pretty forgiving, it's not super rough, it's just, it gets that notoriety, I guess, from the national. You know, we want to make it rough and tough for those events, but outside of that, we try to keep it fairly forgiving and fun for all of our guests that are coming here to ride. This area up here is our seasonal campground area. This is only for guests with a seasonal camping pass. And I know you see a few trailers in here already, but it actually doesn't officially open until this Friday. So we've slowly started letting a few of our seasonal pass holders move in this week to get into their annual spots. But come this weekend for the May 2-4 long weekend, you'll see this fill up pretty good. So as we head to the back portion of our property, a big feature here that people love spending and enjoying time with is our 3 trails. They're all one-directional trails. In total, we have close to 25 kilometers. And we have people that come to Gopher Dunes specifically to ride the trails only. They're a lot of fun. Like I said, they're one-directional. We do that to keep them safe, of course. And each trail enters and exits right beside each other, so you know where you're at. They're all marked A to Z. So you know how long you're going through the trails, and just add something different type of riding for all of our customers and guests coming to the dunes. Our main trails are exactly what you see. They're meant for dirt bikes, ATVs, and side-by-sides. But yeah, we do have a bunch of single track as well. Now, it only gets used for our Off-Road Ontario events, but we do have an FMSQ event on the schedule as well this year, which we're extremely excited about. But that's typically only open for those events, and they are a little bit of upkeep for sure, keeping on top of the single track, because they do get rutted out, and we definitely have had a few mud races here for our Off-Road Ontario events, and it takes a lot of work to get them back in shape after that for the next season again. But for the most part, people just ride the main trail. They find a couple of little single track trails off to the side, and it loops them back into the main trail. And I guess the thing about these trails is we want them to be fun for everybody. We want off-road guys to really enjoy them, but also, like, if you want to take your kids on little CRF 50s for a trail ride, or if you want to bring your family in a side-by-side, we want it to be enjoyable for everybody from that standpoint. The property here, this is what we call the GDR Track. Some people refer to it as the back track. It's on the back side of the property. This portion of the property here isn't open to the general public daily. So we do host races here. We host quite a few private events throughout the season, whether it's dealer training or demo rides or birthday parties, anything like that. But the other main use for it back here is our testing and training for the race team. So hence why it gets its name, the GDR Track. Our guys, they spend a ton of time back here riding, doing motos training. So once all this press day stuff's wrapped up, they'll get back to it tomorrow, testing back here. We have a bunch of testing scheduled over the next week or so, different stuff, suspension, ECUs, that type of thing. So we do let it get quite rough. There is a little novice track out here as well that we need for on race days, of course. The team doesn't really use that, but I'd say this track kind of is, again, a little bit different from the other two. I would say that the soil is a little bit loamier. We don't have any huge jumps out here, but I guess the key feature to it when we're training and testing is the fact that it gets really rough and gnarly. It's kind of unique as well. It goes through all of the woods in 3 or 4 different sections, and this is where the boys get all their work done. This is their office. This is their 9 to 5 spot for most of the week. Heading into my parents' property here. Now this is their backyard. My parents obviously are retired, and they spend a ton of time back here. My mom is she probably puts 40 hours a week in just gardening and doing landscaping and yard work back here, but that's her passion. She loves it, and it's great because a lot of people, when they come for events and stuff, get to enjoy that and see that and spend time around the pond and relax and just kick their feet up for a few hours on a race day. I know we were down here earlier today, but figured we'd do a quick tour here. This is where we keep all of our old championship bikes and also some bikes that are special to the team. We have a couple MXON bikes here, our Gopher Dunes 30th anniversary bike. And it's just kind of a cool special spot for us to keep our memorabilia and stuff like that from the team from over the years that we've wanted to keep. I feel like everybody on the team works really hard, and it's kind of nice to be able to have that spot to just show those things off and keep that stuff for all the guests and people that are coming through that want to check it out. So it's a cool spot. My dad also loves restoring vintage motorcycles and that type of thing. So we have quite the collection going on this side, and we definitely open this up different times throughout the year for people to come check out and enjoy at some of our events. The next time it's going to be open is on the Friday night of our Pro National. We're having a bike night here with a bike show happening outside, and then people will be able to come in and check this area out as well. You obviously heard my dad talking about living here his whole life, and kind of where those boxes are, the flower boxes up there. There used to be a house there, and my dad was born in 1955, and he was born in that house. And these two properties were originally separate properties. And when he was a teenager, his aunt and uncle owned the other half, and my grandparents had bought the other side of the property. So I think my dad was maybe 15 or so, and he moved to the house that's at the other end up by Gopher Dunes that people drive past coming in and out. And when my mom and him had gotten married, they had renovated the house that he was born in and moved back into there in the late 70s. And that's actually the house that I was born in. And when I was maybe 6 years old, they built a house, the newer house here, and moved in that. And then when I moved out of home, you know, as I was becoming a young adult, I moved back into the house that is just up in front of the track again. So we've definitely you know, moved around on the property, and like I said, it's a pretty big property, and it's kind of cool that we've been here most of our life. And I lived off the property as well, and just a few kilometers up the road. But yeah, my dad's been here his whole life, and he loves it here, and it's his pride and joy for sure. Thank you for giving me the chance to tour you around Gopher Dunes. I hope that everybody can come visit us at some point. We look at Gopher Dunes as a place for people to come as a destination that love riding dirt bikes. We have a lot to offer here: track, trails, all that type of stuff. We have events, our Pro National coming up July 4 to 6. It's going to be a really great weekend here. We got some exciting stuff planned, so hope to see you at the dunes.